Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are looking at something completely unexpected, highly unusual, and honestly, utterly fascinating. I mean, have you ever gone looking for a straightforward answer online only to stumble upon something entirely different? Like a glitch in the matrix? Or a ghost in the machine? Well, today, we're exploring a digital artifact that is exactly that. We're going to deconstruct what happens when the internet gives us this deeply human puzzle, all disguised as a technical manual. So prepare to completely shift your perspective, because what we're about to uncover is basically accidental art. So think about the stark juxtaposition here. You see a title by an uploader named Asen Sabri that says, Next Level Shape Design in CorelDRAW, complete with a fire emoji. Naturally, you're expecting a highly technical, step-by-step design tutorial for absolute beginners, right? Bezier curves, vector graphics, the whole shebang. But then, you look at the actual transcript. Instead of simple instructions, we get this sweeping, romantic, and emotionally charged monologue. Honestly, you've been chosen to everybody knows what I'm into, you got me. I mean, it is just entirely detached from the reality of a software tutorial. Section 1, the unexpected transcript. Now, instead of just dismissing this as a simple technical error, like, background music that got picked up by auto captions or some misplaced audio file, we're going to treat this text exactly as it was presented to us. We're going to approach this repetitive, wandering transcript as a modern, accidental poem that is absolutely worthy of a deep literary deconstruction. When you actually break down the linguistics here, you notice this intense reliance on repetition. Just listen to these recurring phrases. Honestly, you've been chosen, I don't want to see, and when you feel me. These aren't just random words floating around in the digital ether. They operate almost like a rhythmic chant, a mantra. The speaker keeps circling back to these core ideas over and over again, which creates this dizzying, looping effect that forces us to pay attention to the underlying emotional state, rather than any kind of logical narrative. Okay, let's dive into this. Theme 1, Radical Honesty. The word honestly pops up repeatedly throughout this incredibly short text. But how does it actually function here? Well, in this specific context, honesty isn't merely the opposite of lying. It serves as an emotional anchor. It's this desperate, repeated plea for authenticity. The speaker is stripping away all the pretenses, using the word honestly almost like a shield to prove the rawness of what they're about to say next. It completely signals vulnerability to us, the audience. Listen to this cadence for a second. I don't want is someone honestly I don't want to see. You want to be somewhere? Honestly, honestly. There is an incredible tension in those words. You can hear the stuttering rhythm. There's this massive contrast between the physical desire of wanting to be somewhere and the blunt emotional refusal to see. It's a push and pull, anchored entirely by the repetition of the word honestly, as if the speaker's trying to convince themselves just as much as they're trying to convince us. And that brings up a brilliant piece of irony. Remember the context of our source material here? This transcript supposedly belongs to an upload about visual shape design in a graphic design software, yet the speaker paradoxically declares, I don't want to see. They are literally rejecting the visual realm. In an artifact masquerading as visual instruction, the text prioritizes internal, emotional truth over external, visible shapes. It's a profound demand for truth over mere aesthetics. Theme 2, The Chosen. Now, what's really interesting here is how the text suddenly shifts. It moves from that internal struggle of honesty to a grand external declaration of destiny. Consider the heavy, almost philosophical weight of this phrasing. You've been chosen to everybody knows what I'm into, you got me. The grammar is a bit fractured, sure, but the meaning? It's incredibly dense. To be chosen implies a chooser, a destiny, a literal singling out from the masses. It elevates the subject of this text from just a random person to someone ordained by a higher emotional power. But it doesn't stop at just being chosen. Notice how this isn't some private matter. The text explicitly states everybody knows what I'm into. The act of being chosen is a public declaration. It's a destiny that the whole community, everybody, is totally aware of. This creates what we could call the burden of public destiny. The emotional connection here isn't hidden away in the shadows. It is forcefully thrust into the light, witnessed by the collective. You got me, the speaker admits, surrendering entirely to this publicly known fact. Moving on to theme 3, seeking connection. And this brings us to the final pillar. Just feel the urgency and deep emotional longing found in these winding lines. I've been missing you as the one and only day. When you've been there, when you know it, when you feel, you know. Wow, It reads like a breathless stream of consciousness. The speaker is chasing a memory, right? A specific one and only day. They are desperately trying to bridge the gap between their own isolated experience and the experience of this other person. And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate climax of the text. The speaker completely equates knowing with feeling. They say, when you know it, when you feel you know. In this digital artifact, intellectual understanding is completely irrelevant. True connection is only achieved through shared emotion. It culminates later in the text with the ultimate, validating phrase, "You feel me." That is the ultimate goal here, not just to be heard, not just to be seen, which, remember, they already explicitly rejected, but to be deeply, fundamentally felt.
Section 4. The synthesis.
So, it's time to bring all three of these pillars together to see the complete picture. We've mapped out our three themes. Honesty is represented by that relentless repetition of honestly, pointing to a desperate desire for truth. Destiny is captured in the phrase, "you've been chosen," revealing this deep need for a public singling out and purpose. And finally, connection is anchored by "you feel me," showcasing the ultimate pursuit of emotional resonance. When we synthesize all this, we see how these jumbled, accidental mantras from a CorelDRAW tutorial actually map perfectly to core universal human desires. It's a complete narrative arc of vulnerability, destiny, and empathy. So, what does this all mean? The crucial point is this. What starts as a confusing mismatch of metadata and audio transcripts ends up holding a mirror right up to us. We came for a tutorial on shapes, but we received a masterclass in the contours of the human heart. It leaves us with a pretty provocative, lingering thought. What are we really looking for when we are chosen? Are we looking for recognition, safety, or simply for someone to finally feel us? Think about that the next time you encounter a glitch on the internet. Thank you so much for diving into this incredible digital artifact with me today. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.